Greetings, welcome back. So glad to have you here. Want to jump right into a video that I found on the African Diaspora channel. It really rubbed me the wrong way. Not so much as the actual event that took place, but it's more so about the parenting of these young students, black students, experiencing racism at a particular school. If you didn't get a chance, go back and look at my video that I did on Dr. King and the Burning House Part 1. I have not came out with Part 2 yet, but it talks about the educational system. Watching this particular broadcast on the African Diaspora channel totally got me upset. Not so much as the school system, because that's to be expected. Not so much as the students themselves, because they are still young and they are still vulnerable. But more so angry with the parents, the black parents, for not preparing their children for the things that life will bring. Unfortunately, being a black person living in the Western Hemisphere. I had to learn certain lessons at an early age when it pertained to race. I would love for it to be where color isn't an issue, where everybody love each other just based off of the character of a person. That's the perfect world. However, we don't live in a perfect world. Race and culture and all of those things add up to what a lot of us experience today.
So we're heading over to the racist province of British Columbia. An executive board meeting took place for Vancouver Public Schools, and they covered a number of topics, but the topic that I'm interested in and want to cover is the portion where we speak about anti-Black racism that has been taking place in the Vancouver public school system and has been unaddressed and unactioned, although several students have made reports of what they have been facing. We're going to hear from Yvonne Morgan, who is a Black Student Union advisor for the school board, as well as 3 students who are going to share their experiences of racism. Take a look and then we'll talk about it.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Morgan. I am here as a member of the community and an alumni of Fort Vancouver High School, class of 2019. I'm here today alongside some truly inspiring young leaders who are using their voice to hopefully upend the status quo of racism and anti-Blackness that has shown itself to be more present than ever in our school community. As a contracted employee for a community partner in the building, I've seen firsthand multiple instances of intentional anti-Black hate speech directed towards students that I work to uplift. I've seen directly the pain that it causes our kids of color, and I've watched administrators choose to respond with passivity, indifference, in a moment when our Black students need defense and a champion.
I'm a senior at Fort Vancouver High School, and I'm the vice president of Black Student Union. I'm here to speak to you today about the lack of accountability and response from the staff and administration at Fort Vancouver High School. Over the past month, countless racial issues have been brought to their attention, and each time these issues were not handled correctly. The most common solution they came up with was to sweep the issue under the rug. There was an incident where multiple posters created by a Black student were defaced. The student created posters to advertise a wellness and affinity group for young women that included a picture of herself. Another student, who's still unknown, came and wrote multiple slurs and pieces of harmful language over the picture of the student, including ugly ass nigger. As one of the most diverse schools in Vancouver, it's concerning how many racially motivated incidents have happened inside the school within the past month, which brings my concern even higher for schools that are less diverse.
I would like to speak on the social media incident that has really eroded the racism in our school. There was a video posted on the Instagram where the girl who had posted it, she was very ignorant and tried to use her race as a backup to saying that she's not racist, which it does not matter who you are, you can be racist. To this day, she's still proud of what she had did, and anytime I see her on any of her social medias, she just keeps going. She's just not. She's not sincere about any of her apologies. I have so many screenshots of what her and her friends have said about the Black community at our school. This girl hasn't been sincere about any of her apologies. Every time she has said sorry, she would just keep going with more racism, especially with her friend who has said very disgusting things and hurtful things. It took me and everything in my power to not go off on her. Some of the things that she said were, and I quote, "And then you guys got offended, bruh, maybe because you guys act like hood people. N-word is not, the N-word is not funny, but the joke wasn't about you guys. Calm down, bruh. And maybe solve it like a behavior person and not like a monkey." Those were some of the highlights that she said, and some of her friends, which he said was, "Shut your up, little, go jump off a tree and eat some dildo bananas, little, of your homies up, so quit talking." When we heard all these things, the frustration in all of our faces, things like this should not be acceptable. And it should not be handled in this way.
On Friday, April 26th, there was an incident where some students posted a TikTok with the N-word posted on the video. Some students from our school addressed the girls who posted the TikTok, and they proceeded to say microaggressions and racial slurs towards the girls, including calling them. It was brought to admin. And that day they pulled one of the girls who posted it and one of the girls who responded from class. That happened on a Friday. The Sunday after, an email. An email was sent out to parents addressing the situation, but not talking about a solution for it. Then the Thursday following, May 2nd, staff held a focus group for Black students to share their feelings about the incident that happened on the 26th. And during the meeting, an admin proceeded to ask what they think we should do about the situation and how they should handle it. Monday, May 6th, Charlotte came back. Once she heard about all the things that happened and found out the admin hadn't done anything about it, she immediately found a solution. She started working on a new policy, and yesterday she presented it to the school. There was another incident where one of my current teachers said to me and two of my Black classmates that if he was in the car by himself and was listening to a song, he would say the N-word. The teacher never apologized, and when my classmate's mom went to admin about it, he said, "Let's not make this into something it's not." I say all this to say the admin at the school lack accountability and have failed to make sure all their students feel safe and make sure we feel like we're heard at the school. Devon, our BSU advisor, and Charlotte, our equity coach, have made the biggest difference this year. But I'm afraid without them, nothing would have been addressed or made a priority to the admin at Ford. Our school next year is going to go from having 6 Black staff to having 2, and no Black teachers. Do you know what it's like to walk into your school? You know what it's like to walk into your school while students are calling you the most racist things and have your teachers say them as well? Probably not. Racism does happen at Fort Vancouver High School, and our admin doesn't know how to handle it.
I really don't want to dilute what we just heard. I've been a paraeducator for a lot of years, like 10 years, and a clerk for 2.5 years. And I've seen a lot of racism. I've spoken up, and I can verify that admin doesn't know how to deal with these things. So I think we should really make that a priority.
What you think? I have a lot of thoughts. In no way, shape, or form am I blaming these students. I blame their parent. I taught my child at an early age, had to, about being Black. I taught my child at an early age about having tough skin. and I'm trying to be sensitive because I hate that this ordeal happened, okay? I hate it when it happened in any scenario, okay? But you fail as a parent when your child gets up and explains a story to people and illustrates how much power other people have over you. There's no way that those students should have been crying for equality. There's no way. As if there are not any solutions available. Number one, you could take your child out of that school and find another school. If that's not possible, why do we always think that we need public schools? The number one goal for school is education. Now, we want them to be able to have the experience of pep rallies. We want them to have the experience of different clubs and being around people of your own peers. But if that can't happen, then guess what? You will have to go to a technical school and join some clubs there because they have them as well, and that you get your diploma. That's the goal. For this situation right here, I hate to see us cry in front of people who are not like us, because it shows that they have a certain level of power over you. And it's not these children's fault. I'm not blaming them at all. I fault their parents for not teaching them what life is all about. This is not Rainbow Bright and the Care Bears that we're living in. So if you know that these things exist, you have to prepare your children for the worst. You can't have them thinking that this is the land of cotton candy and unicorns when it's a beast out there ready to destroy them emotionally and socially. It's the parents' fault. We got to prepare our children for the worst. Teach them what life is all about. And sadly, you have to teach them at an early age. You have to teach them tough skin, having tough skin in this type of world, because if you don't, they're going to run into those type of people. And when they run into those type of people, they will not know how to handle themselves. They will break down and cry and appear weak. And what bothers me the most is that even though that child who did all of the bullying, she was punished minorly, she's still getting her kicks off because she was able to affect those students to the point where they broke down and cried in front of her. Their parents did not prepare them for cases like this, as if they were going to just be oblivious to situations like this. We know it exists. If you over here on the West and you look like me, got kinky hair, and you look like me, you know you're going to have issues. So why not prepare your kids? Oh, you think we've arrived? You think we've gotten to the promised land? We haven't. So therefore you have to teach. You have to get your kids prepared for this if you love them. And it bothered me that those kids broke down and cried in front of everybody because you gave those racists exactly what they were looking for. They won. Now, what the parents can do, like I said, is remove them from the school. You can't force anybody to do the right thing. But there are things that they could do to make sure that those who are the bullies would at least fake the funk in front of their presence. It would be lawsuits all day with me. Not only would I sue the school Not only would I sue the school system with the class action suit, all those parents get together and do that, but I also would sue the parents of the bullies. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's exactly what I would do. And place my child in a different environment than that one. One of my favorite movies is The Great Debaters, which was based off of a true story, where you had a group of students who were on a debate team before segregation ended. They thought that they didn't have what their counterpart students had. But when they went to Harvard University to compete, they won without the influence of others. They were able to learn amongst themselves, and they became brilliant people. Dr. King said, "I fear I have led my people into a burning house." And it's so many elements to that. Education was one. Now our students are performing miserably. Not just black students, but all students across the U.S. And it looks like Canada too. Failing. So that was one of the elements of the burning house. Integration had already taken place. Dr. King, what you mean? You fear you've led us into a burning house. What you mean? We are more divided than ever now. We are so reliant on a system that has full control. From working, going to school, getting a higher education, taking your skills and your assets that you have acquired and making somebody else rich. Please, if you are a parent, tell your children the truth. Hope for the best. Teach them how to hope for the best. But please, above all, please prepare them for the worst. And if you do that, they will be okay. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. And I will see you in the next video. May God bless.